Have you ever just looked at a list of everything you've accomplished and felt, well, nothing? This is for you. This is for anyone who's ever felt like they're on a hamster wheel of achievement, only to feel more and more invisible with every single success. Today, we're going to explore that really painful paradox of being successful but feeling completely unseen.
I mean, on the surface, it makes no sense, right? You get the promotion, you nail the big project, you're the one everyone turns to when things get tough. You're more visible than ever. But here's the real question, the one that matters. Does it feel like you are being seen, or is it just what you can do for people? That's the feeling we're going to unpack right now.
So let's actually put a name to this feeling. It's this weird paradox of being successful but unseen. It's that strange kind of hollow space between all the praise you get for what you do and that deep down internal feeling that the real you is being completely, totally overlooked.
Okay, see if any of this feels familiar. It usually starts with you just being the go-to person, the reliable one, right? So you start taking on more and more. Pretty soon, you start to believe, maybe without even realizing it, that your value is your output. And that's what creates that empty feeling after a huge win. The praise is for the thing you did, not for the person you are. It's the difference between being chosen for a task versus being chosen, period.
So, where does this relentless, exhausting drive to prove our worth even come from? Well, I can tell you, it almost never starts in the workplace. To really understand the successful but unseen adult, we have to go back in time and meet the child they once were.
Now this is the heart of it all. The unchosen child isn't necessarily a child who wasn't loved, but they learned a really powerful and often subconscious lesson, that love, safety, and attention, they're conditional. They have to be earned by being good, or being helpful, or being exceptional.
And this gets right to the psychological root of the issue. You see, in attachment theory, a secure bond forms when a child feels valued just for being them. But when that bond feels conditional, well, the child learns they have to perform to feel safe and connected. They become a little producer, a tiny high achiever, all in an effort to earn their spot. This right here, this is the quiet, almost desperate logic of that inner child. It's not some conscious thought, but it's a deep, foundational belief that's running the show. Being useful starts to feel like survival, and being indispensable, that feels like safety.
So what happens when this child grows up? Well, that childhood survival strategy doesn't just vanish, it evolves. It becomes a personality, it becomes a career, it becomes a whole lifetime of performing.
And this really brings us to the core conflict. On one side, you've got received love. This is love based on your mere presence, and it makes you feel secure. But on the other side, you've got earned love. This is love based on your performance, and it fuels this constant low-grade anxiety. The unseen achiever, they live almost entirely on the right side of this chart, forever running on a treadmill to re-earn their sense of belonging day after day.
This feeling of immense pressure, it's the engine that drives this whole cycle. Psychologists call it a supercharged internal locus of control. It's this deep belief that you are solely responsible for, well, everything. It's this gut feeling that if you stop managing, stop performing, stop achieving for even a second, it's all going to come crashing down. Your connection, your value, your safety, it feels like it's all on your shoulders.
And so we get stuck in this loop. It starts with that fundamental human need for connection, right? But your internal programming says, okay, time to achieve something. So you do it. You do something incredible, and you get praise, which, yeah, it feels good for a minute. But here's the catch. Praise isn't presence. It's not real connection. And so the original need goes completely unmet, and the cycle just starts all over again, usually with the need to achieve something even bigger next time.
Okay, so if you're listening to this and recognizing yourself in this cycle, how in the world do you break free? Well, the answer isn't to just stop achieving. It's about a fundamental shift in your internal script. It's about rewriting the very definition of your own worth.
Look, your drive, your ambition, those are incredible strengths. We're not trying to get rid of that engine. The goal is to uncouple it from the carriage of your self-worth. The real work is learning to believe that you'd still be valuable even if you accomplished absolutely nothing for a day or a week or a month.
Just let that sink in for a second. Your worth is not a transaction. Your place in your family, with your friends, in the world, it's not something you have to pay for with productivity. You don't have to earn your right to exist every single day.
And this is the currency we need to start valuing instead. You see, praise is for what you do. Presence is for who you are. It's all about learning to show up as yourself,
without some accomplishment in your hand, and trusting that is enough to be seen, to be valued, and to finally be chosen.
So let's end with this question. Don't treat it like an answer, but more like an experiment you can run in your own life. What if all the doing, all the achieving, what if it wasn't to build your worth, but it was just to express the worth that was already there? What would change, really change, if you truly believed you were already enough, right now, just as you are?